The average person is said to spend 15 minutes in the bathroom. Why not take advantage of that time and learn something new? Presenting the 15-minute podcast on weird facts, crazy details, and funny particulars that you'll be able to enjoy while you're taking a on your free time. Welcome to This Shit with Sam Butler. Welcome to the Shit Podcast. We're back again this week. My name is Sam Butler. Thank you for joining us. I have a very, very special guest. It's my pleasure to have him here on our show. He's actually a touring stand-up comedian, very big guy here in Mexico. He's from Monterrey, Nuevo León. He's with us today. A big, big welcome to my friend Cacho Cantu. How you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing fine. I was big, but I lost 45 kilos. So I'm not that big anymore.
I lost 60 kilos. Yeah. No, 30. I lost 30. I didn't lose that many.
Where you left them?
She went with another dude. I got divorced. No, that's
a joke.
I don't know, but the Shit Podcast. It's a quick podcast, and we try and find some cool shit to talk about. Of course, you don't know what we're going to talk about.
I don't know.
And this episode's a very special episode. I've actually been saving this one. This was actually one of the first episodes that I thought about doing. I talked to the guys when we were talking about planning the podcast. We're like, what do you think? They're like, this is great. And I saved it just for you.
This is great, but you should do it with a gay guy.
Yeah,
This is not normal.
No, this is just it really has nothing to do with sexuality. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll make it work.
I can do that. Don't worry.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But we're actually going to talk about Hitler. You know that guy? You heard of him?
Actually, I didn't know that guy. Actually, I think he was kind of gay. Because the outfits, the Nazis were.
Yeah, the shorts and the socks. That was kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Right. I actually read somewhere. I don't know where. I mean, don't hold me to it. I know you're gonna have fact checkers and stuff. This is a podcast, and we're just taking it easy. But I read somewhere that his testicles never dropped. That in his medical files, that they said that they never dropped the guy, which is ironic because he wanted a superior race.
Yeah, but I think if your eggs are up, you need to make it down.
You need to work them out.
Yeah.
So I think he was asexual. I think he was a frustrated man. But more than that, what this episode's about is about how Hitler was addicted to drugs.
Okay. So you're talking about me, a gay guy with no eggs, with no testicles, and
addicted to drugs.
Yeah, but I never killed you.
That's good. I'm glad because that would make this really awkward. But there was a best-selling book, The Total Rush. I don't know, The Total Rush, I guess is what it's called. And it's published in English. Oehler was the writer, and he found that a lot of the Nazi regiment used drugs regularly, and the soldiers in the German armed forces, all the way to Hitler. So,
but what kind of drug?
Well, they used methamphetamine.
Okay, never been there.
Crystal meth, you know. So they, it's known as crystal meth, and it was a pill in the form of a drug. It was Pervitin that was distributed to the millions to the army. To the German army. They found out that this would keep you alert, keep you awake.
Yeah.
You didn't have to eat much.
You don't need to be a trailer man to the meth.
You could march for a long, long time. And so if you think about it, they had all the troops high on meth all the time. And I don't know if the right word is high or not, but they were on meth all the time. And this made them better soldiers, and
well,
they almost won. I mean, they did pretty good. I mean, they took over all of Europe.
Good soldiers. But I think the meth is what it is a thing you use to take courage to, just on. Like the gas.
Yeah. I definitely think that the drug use enabled them to do the things that they did.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that the atrocities, the atrocities that they did were terrible. I mean, but what I've been learning as I've been researching these topics, it's not just them. I mean, World War I, the Turkish government tried to eliminate the Armenians.
Okay.
They had the Armenian genocide, 1.5 million deaths. They were marching them through the desert and shooting them as they would fall. They were pulling them in train cars as well. So I don't know what it is about these dictators and these different governments that feel that they need to get rid of a whole group of people, but it's been happening. It continues to happen. You look at what happened in Rwanda, and it was also a genocide. And but I do think the drugs help.
Yeah. But I think that's why we can know that Hitler was gay, because he were aware that we need skincare routine. He killed people for our skincare routine.
He was an artist. I have a friend. He's a stand-up comic, and he does a joke. He says, "Do you think if his parents had been a little bit more supportive in his art career, maybe none of this would have ever happened? Maybe they're like, that looks good, son. You're doing a good job. Keep going with your art project." But he was a frustrated guy, and so this drug, this Preverton, was available over the counter for a while.
Okay.
So they were giving it to regular German people as well.
Like in Farmacias Benavides.
Yeah, you could
Farmacias del Ahorro.
Yeah, la Guadalajara. It's like
I'm going to Walgreens, to get some meth.
And it's not that weird either. I mean, we have an opioid problem right now.
Yeah.
And it's pharmaceutical companies that are pushing doctors to push this on patients, and you have people that are addicted to opioids, and you have all these painkillers. You have I have family members that are addicted to painkillers. They're always in pain, and they give them heroin. They give them opioids. Opium. And it's a thing that still happens today.
They are the white collar Hitlers right now.
The white collar Hitlers. Yeah.
It wasn't a joke, but if you wanna laugh, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So there was a decree that was set out in 1940, April 1940. It was called the Stimulant Decree.
Okay.
And they gave 35 million tablets of Preverton and Isofan, which is a slightly modified version provided by the Knoll Pharmaceutical Company of the pills, to the front lines.
Okay.
So now every soldier had their little ration of these meth pills that they would take, and which is what fueled them. They said they were fueled. This fueled the Nazis for the Blitzkrieg. I'm not even saying that right, but
it is like your courage stash.
Yeah, I mean it made you like, hey, you got to go over that hill and kill everybody, and if you die, you die. They're like, all right, cool, let's do it.
That's true.
Yeah, and so the thing about it, though, the Germans weren't the only ones that did it. The Americans did it too. The Allied forces did it, but they had a slightly different drug of choice. It was
religion.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
I'm also funny in English.
Yeah.
That's a surprise for me too.
That was pretty good. Yeah, the Allied soldiers were known to use amphetamines.
Okay.
Speed, so it was Benzedrine, and this helped them not be so tired, and fat people use amphetamines too. I mean, when I was younger,
to
weight
loss,
fen, all those different, so it's not that long ago. I mean, we're still.
Yeah, but I think the quantities are way different, because I use amphetamines too. I wanna get that skinny bitch, but then I get keto. So keto is my drug, is my amphetamine.
Yeah. Well, Hitler had a doctor. His doctor was Theodore Morrow. Morrell, I don't know, Hitler's personal physician. he ended up spending years studying Morrow's. This is the writer of this book. Spent years studying Morrow's records. And first he wanted to write a novel.
Okay.
And a novel was going to be a little bit more fiction and exaggeration and stuff like that. But then he found that at the National Archives in Washington, D.C., they actually had the records.
Okay.
Dr. Morrow's records. And he was kind of a shady guy in the Hitler regime, and
they say this is not romantic for a novel.
Yes.
We should make,
let's make it fact. Yeah, let's make a novel about Hitler. Bad idea. Yeah,
it's not that romantic.
It's not that romantic. Yeah. He wasn't that romantic of a guy, So he fixed. Hitler had some intestinal problem, and he fixed him, and then he became like Hitler's best friend. It's like when you find a good mechanic, you're like, I'm sticking to that guy. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
That's what he did. And so they became very devoted to each other. And the other people in the that's what I'm actually reading a quote is that they became devoted to each other for 9 years.
Yeah. I'm sorry, neo-Nazis. Hitler was so fucking gay. Whatever.
And then all the guys, all the people around Hitler didn't like his doctor, but he loved him. 9 years.
Yeah.
He was like, this is my guy. And that guy would inject Hitler daily. So Hitler was like getting injections.
Yeah. I think he was injecting with sperm.
Different kind of injections.
Yeah.
He had Russian condoms.
With vodka.
Yeah. So they say Hitler didn't actually use Prevatin, which was the pills. Mm-hmm. But that was probably the only drug he didn't use. He used everything else. And one of the big theories of this whole thing is that when Hitler decided to kill himself, well, right before he killed himself, he had like a 2-hour-long conference with Mussolini. Mm-hmm. He was on a high. He just went on and on and on and on. And then as things started declining and there was no access to these drugs anymore, mm-hmm. they think that Hitler started going into these withdrawals for the drugs and couldn't get them. And they think that's what made him decide to just go ahead and kill himself.
Okay. I did a shitty work. Now I don't have drugs, so I'm going to kill myself.
Sounds pretty real.
Sounds pretty real.
Yeah.
Sounds like United States yesterday.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I read about Hitler, and I don't know, I didn't verify it for this episode. We don't have that much time, but his family members, they changed their names from Hitler. That's the last name. It's Adolf Hitler. But they changed their last names, and they decided not to have any kids. They said, that's it. That's the end of our family line. What this guy did, that's so despicable that we don't want to continue the family line. And that was it. They died off.
Dick.
Yeah. Well, but that was his. But that was his own family saying we don't agree with anything that this guy did.
So right now, like in 2020, we don't have any Hitlers.
No. Well, maybe not related to him, But
yeah, but name Hitler, yes, because ridiculous.
But I would think they'd change it, because I don't know of anybody I don't even know of that many Adolfs anymore. Who names their kid Adolf,
Well, you will be surprised.
Maybe in Mexico, Adolfo doesn't sound like Adolf.
No. That's it, Hugo Boss. Yeah, that's why he was gay. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it on this episode of the Shit Podcast. I thought this was a very interesting subject. Actually, I was watching a documentary and it came up, and then I read on it and stuff, and then I saw different things on it. I think it's something that you can enjoy in a 15-minute segment. And I want to thank you for joining me. This is your first English podcast, so
Yeah,
thank
it
you.
is my first one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, well,
Thank you.
You're welcome back anytime. Thank you for being on it.
And I have a tip for all the people. Don't leave your gays alone because they can.
They might just decide to kill a whole race of people.
Yeah. Just you don't like gays. You just let them be. Let it be. Let it be.
Yeah, I really don't care what happens behind closed doors. If you're gay or straight or whatever, keep it to yourself. Keep it in the bedroom. Do whatever you got to do. Whatever. Kids are off limits for sure. But if you're overage and you're consenting, hey, go knock yourself out. You know?
Close your door and open your anus.
That's what's ironic, though. You're like, I just came out of the closet. We'll get back in there, but open your anus.
Yeah. Please.
Well, thank you, Cacho. Where can people find you on your social media?
Cacho Cantu in all my social
All right,
media.
cool. And of course, we're Está Cagados Podcast and Está Cagado Podcast. I always say the S by accent. Está Cagado Podcast, Tu Amigo Sam, YouTube, Instagram. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been this episode of The Shit Podcast.
Yes, thank you, USA. We're also American.